What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Young Curd back with another banger, and you already know how we do. I actually got my wisdom teeth removed 4 days ago, so I haven't been able to upload. I've seen a lot of subscribers letting me know that they wanted a recap from the last couple of days. The last video we did with a recap, if you guys are new to the channel, we just go over all the games from the night before, talk to it. If you guys don't like watching full games like I do, if you guys don't like watching basketball, this ESPN app is really cool. Or also you can just listen to me talk for 12 minutes. That's even better. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and comment button if you can. I appreciate everybody that's tuning in. Let's get into the video. First we have Nuggets Pistons. So I feel like this game, more than the game before and last game, just showed that Jokic is even higher in the MVP ranking. He had a 46, 14, and 10 performance. 49, 14, and 10. Next game he had 26, 20, and 10. And then tonight versus the Pistons he had 28 points, 21 rebounds, and 9 assists, which is just absolutely ridiculous. And then I feel like another big takeaway from this Pistons game is we're starting to see Cade Cunningham emerge. He had 34, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and 4 blocks, and they were like, "Oh, this is the first rookie to have that since Jordan" on ESPN. If you haven't seen that, I would check it out. It's just an ESPN stat. Like, it's so random for them to include something like that. But I mean, I feel like as a rookie, he's starting to really emerge. Not only is he starting to emerge, the Pistons are in that rebuild stage, which they have been in for the last 10 years. But at least they're like one of those teams that knows they're rebuilding, and they'll probably get another 2 first-round picks if they do pick the right. They could probably have Cade, Sadiq Stills, Stewart, maybe get Chet, and they would have a pretty good squad in the next 5 years. Pistons fans have a lot to be happy about. Hornets Raptors. So the score doesn't reflect how the game was. The Raptors were blowing them out in the first quarter, like it was like 39-19, and then the Hornets went on a big run. And then the Raptors went on a big run in the beginning of the second quarter, and then the Hornets came back. So it was like a 20-point game almost the whole entire game. And then I want to say like the last 4 minutes of the fourth quarter, they cut it down to like 8, but it was too late. Gary Trent is a flamethrower. Like, I've been saying this ever since the beginning of his career in Portland. Portland should have never gave him up for Norman Powell. He had 30 tonight. Hornets tried to keep it close all game, like I said. The one thing that I've been noticing a lot from this Hornets season is, like, they win more when Gordon Hayward is on the floor. Not saying that he's, like, an all-star caliber player like he used to be, but he's definitely a difference maker for this roster. Bridges is about to get a bag, like I've been saying all year. He definitely deserves a bag. Now, this is the game that I was excited to talk to you about. Luke Kennard scored seven points in the last 9 seconds. So if you didn't watch this game, end the video right now and go watch this Clipper game, because it was just like one of the top 10 games I've ever seen. Clipper fans were so excited about this in the regular season. I will put a little Clipper slander out there, though. I don't know if you guys remember blowing 2-3-1 leads to the Rockets and the Nuggets, but it's okay. You guys can be happy about a regular season game. That's fine. It was actually a 32-point comeback in the fourth quarter. Luke Kennard hit a 3. They're down 3 points, so it's 115-112. They steal the inbounds. Luke Kennard hits an and 1-3, makes the free throw. Game's over, and that was probably one of the craziest regular season games I've ever seen in my life. Luke Kennard also had 25 points, which this is the one thing I do when I was watching this game. There was like I said, I like to do big takeaways from every game. My big takeaway from this game was that the fact that the Clippers are one game under 500 and they don't have Kawhi and PG is absolutely ridiculous. And if they do come back this year, which I have reports that I saw from Woj saying that they could come back by the end of the year, come playoff time, nobody wants to see that Clipper team in the first round. Sixers Pelicans. This was a pretty fun game to watch. Pelicans, no Valanciunas, no Ingram, missing 3 of their starters. Nikhila Alexander-Walker played really well. I think he had like 28. And then Embiid had 42 and 14, and Tobias Harris had 33. So that's just off the top of my head. Really, there was nothing. I think the one takeaway I have from this game is Jokic, Embiid, and Giannis are kind of running away with the MVP race at this point. I'll get to that later, but and then Kings Celtics. I watched this full game. Obviously, I'm a Celtics fan, but if you are just a regular NBA fan, don't watch this game. It was an absolute blowout. Tatum had 36, 8 and 8. Brown had 30 and 10. My big takeaway from this was, why can't we play like this every night? I literally wrote that down. Why can't we play like this every night? Because we come out here, we win by 40, everything's all smiles, everything, and then we go play an inferior team that's worse than the Kings and we lose, or we blow a 30-point comeback, or whatever it is. It's just the inconsistency with the Boston Celtics is very like frustrating. But I will say, like, when we are hitting on all cylinders and like our stars are playing, the ball's moving, Rob Williams is getting touches, Smart's making his shots, we're definitely a very scary team. But when we're not, it's embarrassing. Lakers Nets, no KD, no Kyrie. Do Nets stay afloat? That was my biggest thing. They're in third in the East now, so they dropped behind the Heat and the Bulls with that loss. LeBron had a 33. Big takeaway, obviously, Anthony Davis is back. Lakers win. It was more so a dominating performance by the Lakers the whole game, I would say. It was like the Nets had it close a little bit in the fourth quarter. They cut it to like 6, but personally, the one thing that I took away from this game is, are the Lakers back? I'll say no. I think it's going to take 3 more weeks for them to really figure it out. Like I've been saying this whole year, though, as far as it goes with the Lakers, these early season struggles probably are the most beneficial thing for them, because come playoff time, all these things are going to be out of the water. Like, it right now for the Lakers, it can't get any worse than it is. Like, there's no way that it's going to be able to get any worse than it is right now. Spurs Rockets, I did not watch this game. That's the one game out of the 10 that I did not watch. Kendall Johnson had a good game, and so did Javante Murray. Javante had 30. This is the one takeaway I did just from like looking at the highlights and the box scores, and I really have been thinking about this every time I look at the Spurs games. Like, 18 and 30 obviously isn't the best. They're the 11th seed in the West, but with a coach team by Greg Popovich, you're never going to tank. So they're never going to rebuild with Popovich. They're never going to get any worse, and they're never going to get any better unless they make some crazy trade. Because a lot of teams, with this Spurs team, how it is right now, they would tank for like the first overall pick or maybe a lottery pick. But the way Greg Popovich coaches, he's never going to allow one of his teams to tank. And that was really what I was thinking from it. Greg will never tank. 5 players from the Spurs roster had over 15 points and 7 had over 10. So, like I said, Greg Popovich, one of the top 3 greatest coaches of all time, along with Phil Jackson, Pat Riley. So it's difficult for me to rate this Spurs team because, like I said, part of me wants them to just blow it up. But, you know, with a Greg Popovich coach team, that's never going to happen. Mavericks, Warriors, most just dominant blowout game from the very beginning. Mavericks never even had a chance. Even in the second quarter, they brought it back to 10. It was over. Honestly, if you're a Warriors fan, this is probably the most fun game of the whole year. Kuminga was just, if you didn't watch this game, Kuminga was just absolutely going crazy, dunking on everybody, having a field day out there. And then the one takeaway I really will think about this is that, to me, Klay's attack to the basket in his first step is better than ever. He looks just as good post injury as before injury. Like, when he's driving to the bucket and jumping, like, I feel like his leg has gotten even stronger. I don't know. That's just me. You guys let me know in the comments. Steph Curry, for me, has kind of fell out of the top 3, maybe top 5, some would say, but I still think he's like 5 for MVP race. He had 13 points versus the Jazz and 18 versus the Mavs. In my opinion, he's fallen out of top 3 for the MVP race. In his last couple of games, he hasn't shot over 35% from the field, not including, not just 3s, 2s, and 3s. So he's in ever since he broke that record, he's been in a pretty big slump. Timberwolves Blazers. This was probably the second best game of the night. This was a really crazy game. Anthony Edwards had 40 points. last play of the game, 107-107. Instead of going to Edwards, they go to D'Lo. I'm watching the game. I'm like, why are they going to D'Lo? D'Lo only has 20, and D'Lo has been off all night. Like, he had 20, but not on an efficient shooting score. He jabs left, he goes left, he makes the layup, so it's a 2-point game. And I'm just like, wow, if D'Lo would have missed that shot and Ant didn't get the ball, Ant would have been so pissed. They come down on the other court, and Ant Simons pulls up a three, hits the side of the backboard. And it was a good game though. If you have a chance to check that out, I would check that out. The one thing I did want to talk about is that game is Anthony Simons, Anthony, whatever his name is. He's a legit all-star, and he has a chance to be a really good player in this league. Like, he's already molding into a really good player, but I feel like he has a chance to actually be an all-star. The one thing that I do want to say about this Blazers team is McCollum, Nurkic, Ant Simons, and Dame Lillard all healthy, which we haven't seen all year, but that's a scary team. So if they can somehow sneak into a playout spot, nobody would want to see this team first round. So those are my biggest takeaways from the thing. I think Curry's fallen out of top 3 for MVP. I think Jokic's stock just continues to rise. I think the Spurs need a tank. Gary Trent is a flamethrower as always, and you guys let me know down in the comments if you enjoyed these videos. We'll be doing one tomorrow. I appreciate you guys as always. A lot of love. This is Shohei Ohtani. Like, sub, hit that button for me. Peace.